If you thought the post-election hangover couldn't get any worse for corporate legacy news media, the latest ratings numbers are in and they are very, very, very bad. MSNBC, CNN, they are bleeding viewers like it's the end of the cable television era. And maybe it is. That's what we have to consider. So let's look at some of the numbers. New York Times reports viewers flee MSNBC and flock to Fox News in the wake of the election. Primetime viewership at MSNBC down 53% from October, up 21% on Fox News. Adweek reports Fox News wins the week but still loses viewers. This was the immediate aftermath, pointing out that according to Fox News, they drew a 69% share of the cable news audience, 72% share in primetime. That's their best in 28 years. Meanwhile, MSNBC and CNN are at the bottom of their historical viewership. And then Yahoo News, MSNBC viewership craters 38%, CNN down 27%, Fox News audience jumps 41% post-election. There is a lot to talk about here. Post-election drop-offs are not unusual. We saw it too for 3 days. Many of you, much to your dismay, will remember that I talked about it a couple of times. What you kind of have is oftentimes there's a general tune out after the election. The losers kind of lick their wounds and go home. The winners take a victory lap, which could explain some of Fox News's bump. Everybody might tune out for a little while, but something different seems to be happening here. This is increasingly not smelling like we're just taking a break from politics on corporate media moment. There seems to be something broader going on. People are tired. People are disillusioned with what they get from corporate media. And many are realizing, wow, it was the influencer election, the social media election, the independent creator election. We had our best viewership ever in August and September and to some degree October, ever, ever, ever. And a lot of people seem to be saying, I may be tuning out for now or not from news and politics in general, but I don't know that I'm going back to CNN or MSNBC when I come back. And there's not been a lot to be hopeful about over the last few weeks, but this is kind of making me feel like actually we're doing okay. We had this 2-day decline, and we're back. We're not at the September, October record numbers, but to give you a sense, pre-election, we had this sort of baseline of 1 to 1.4 million views a day on YouTube. During the height of the election, 4 million views a day, 4.5 million views a day. But things have sort of settled around 2 million views a day, 1.8, 2.3. This means that even after this kind of come down, 50% down on MSNBC, et cetera, we're still kind of double where we were a year ago. Now, I'm not really saying anything groundbreaking here by saying it seems like there's a more systemic shift from corporate to independent media. We've known for a while that the networks are more invested in maintaining access to power rather than challenging it. But here's the real kind of new part. More and more people seem to be catching on. Just because there's shiny graphics and breaking news banners and 24 hours of pundits recycling the same stale talking points, that doesn't mean that it's your only option. And viewers seem to be coming to independent media. They're coming to creators who aren't necessarily beholden to the corporate sponsors or dictated by party lines. That's all good. They're coming to shows like this one. That's great. That's incredible. That being said, the right-wing independent media space is way better funded than the left-wing independent media space. And so we can say it's great that more people are coming to shows like ours, but organizations like the Daily Wire and Turning Point USA and others are way better equipped as far as infrastructure and financing. So the shift is bigger right now than a temporary ratings dip. We seem to be seeing the longer term trend where the gatekeepers of old school corporate media are losing power. They're losing relevance. They're losing the ability for 4 layers of editors to say, you know what, David Parkman, because they never even get my name right. They don't even care. You know what, David Parkman, we don't want you to have a show. All right, well, if enough people online say they do want me to, then I do. And I don't want to break any confidences, but I've had some interesting conversations just with people involved with corporate media over the last 3 to 4 months. And they're not offering me anything, to be clear. They seem to recognize what's happening, and they're trying to figure out, should we be doing more on YouTube? What should we be doing? So here's the bottom line. The post-election corporate media collapse. Is it a collapse or is it a dip? It's a symptom of a much bigger problem. And it's certainly a huge opportunity for us. We know the right is taking advantage of the opportunity. Hopefully the left will figure out how to do it as well. If you're here, you're already ahead of the curve. Let's try to keep building towards something that matters and something that will have influence. And for the Democratic Party, you've got to recognize that just considering some interviews on left-wing independent media shows 3 weeks before the election, that's not really going to be enough. You've got to do better, and hopefully they will going into the next election cycle. With Donald Trump being elected and the insane cabinet appointments and everything else he has planned for the next 4 years, right-wing media is trying to create a new normal and convince us that the zeitgeist is changing. So it's never been more important to be an engaged and savvy news consumer. And that's where our sponsor, Ground News, comes in, an independent app and website designed to help you navigate the chaos of today's current events. For every story circulating, Ground News will give you instant access to the sources reporting on it, transparency on political bias and credibility. You can see who owns the news outlets, what are their narratives and special interests that might influence them. This will ease the mental load of sorting through what we see in the media so you can decide where is the truth. We have to stay aware of what Republicans are up to. Ground News is a really valuable tool so that you can stay on top of it. Go to ground.news/Pacman to take advantage of their biggest sale of the year. You'll get 50% off their top tier Vantage plan. The link is in the description, or scan my QR code.